Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. We'll just dive into a couple of quick channel things before we dive into the Lazarus read-through here. I did finish recording Monstrous last night, but it ended up taking a little bit longer than I expected. I didn't want to split the read-through into two, so I just decided to do it in one go. It's a pretty packed and dense volume. So it was nighttime by the time I got finished recording, and I knew it would take some time to upload. So I put it off until this morning so I could release it, when everyone's actually awake. Or at least those of us in the Western Hemisphere are awake. So that's uploading right now. It should be out by this afternoon sometime. I was going to do a One Piece video today, but I feel like I need to do a proper written up script for it to get my ideas across cohesively, because I'm already getting takes and disagreements and things on Twitter. So rather than trying to wing it and not get my points across clearly, I will probably put it off until next week, Saturday, because I have a long weekend coming up next week, so that'll give me a bit more time, I think, to do that one justice. Like I said, we're going to do the Lazarus video right now. So expect that to be up on the channel this afternoon as well. And for the foreseeable future, I'm probably going to focus on finishing Lazarus first before I go back to the other two series I'm doing read-throughs for, which is Vinland Saga and Yona of the Dawn. So look forward to an update next weekish, maybe, or the week after. Once we get closer to being done with Lazarus, I'll look for updates on when those two are going to be coming back to the channel. And I think I've mentioned this a couple of times before, I'll just mention here again, I'm not picking up any new series until those are done. So once I'm caught up on all those ones, then I'll announce which series and things I'm doing next. So with that said, I'm so excited to dive back into this. Let us begin with Lazarus, the Third Collection, as we pick up with Cull, Chapter 1. And we have April 1st, X plus 65, and you see the airship floating through the sky. You have 10 seconds, stand by. Or you have approaching target, 10 seconds, stand by. You have dagger, stand by. And you see stand by, stand by. You see green light on, go, go, go. And you see the ramp coming down as they all start skydiving off of the plane. Oh, fucking skydiving. They've got fucking jetpacks. You see them just jumping out of the plane with these jetpacks as they're soaring through the air. And you have Graubünden, Canton, Switzerland, 43 kilometers due west of Davos, altitude 11,207 meters. And you see family Rausling occupied Bittner. And you see them streaking through the air past this very, very Germanic looking town. And you see them coming to a stop on this mountain hillside in the snow as they discard their jetpacks and start walking off. Ooh. We see Southern Sierra Nevada, Compound Sequoia, family Carlisle 6 weeks earlier. They have regained consciousness during transport. It's like, the way, get out of the way! And you see just absolutely bruised, beaten, bloodied forever with an oxygen mask. She's being helped onto a transport. Looks like one of her legs has been cut off. And you see population family 4, 1 permanent, population serf 67. Jeff, hold her steady. Michael, her leg. So she fought us the whole way. We tried to sedate her, but nothing took. So induction triggers are still firing, at least what's left of them. On 3, Michael. 1, 2, and you see, as they take her off the little gurney they wheeled her into onto a proper bed. Jeff, 3. He's like, for God's sake, keep her still. You see Forever's trying to say something through the mask. Yeah, Forever, you're going to be okay. It's like, Forever, listen! And she's trying to struggle and fight back against him. Jeff, little help here! Jeff, Forever! And she's just kicking off all the paramedics and the support that they're getting. Jeff, Forever, calm down! He's like, no! And she just smashes my poor Michael across the face. Jeff, you're home, you're safe now! And she's still trying to struggle, I guess, as they're trying to put her under and sedate her. And God, I apologize in advance because I absolutely am going to have forgotten half the names. It's not John? Is it Jonathan? God, I'm so terrible with names. But he's putting her under. He goes, you're home, Eve. We're going to take care of you. Oh, James, not Jonathan, James. And she goes, no, James, please. And he's like, you'll be fine. It's like, no, drugs. It's like, James. And then they finally managed to get her sedated. And Bethany goes, we're going to need a replacement limb from storage. You see, 2 months. Yeah, why so long? And Bethany goes, because in cases like this, everything we designed her to do actually works against us. We don't want her healing an incision even as we're making it. It's taken 2 days just to get her ready for surgery. We've had to retard her transcription factors, modify pluripotency, disable. And you see Johanna going, I get it. He's like, oh, then you also understand that to facilitate all this, we've had to take her off her meds. The replacement limb is easy. It's not like there's a risk of rejection, but we still have to account for physical therapy. Then we have to reintroduce the drug regimen. And Joanna goes, I need her ready to deploy again in 4 weeks. And Beth goes, that's not enough time, Joe. She goes, we're at war, Beth. I need forever in the field, and it has to be soon. Do it for your family, big sister. I see Beth just glaring at her as Joe walks off and goes, I'll find my way from here. And then you see out in the snow, Sonia is sparring with Tiny Eve as they're both dressed in their winter gear. You see Sonia gets knocked off balance by Tiny Eve, and they start a little snowball fight. And you see Marisol's watching them from inside. And you have Gunnery Sergeant Ocampo. It's like, it's been a long time. It's like 12 years. Technically, Miss Carlisle, you're not authorized to be. And Joe goes, don't even. I am acting head of this family until my father recovers. I'm acting head of this family until my father recovers enough to resume leadership. I am Carlisle, so let's not play games. And she goes, I don't play games, ma'am. I act on very explicit orders as issued by your father. My mission is to train, educate, and protect Forever Carlisle. You sent Gabriel Mason to kidnap that little girl down there. You're lucky I haven't already thrown your ass out of here. And Joe responds, you shot Gabriel Mason in the head twice. Have you asked yourself who let you know he was coming? And she goes, but if you'd rather talk about your mission, I'm more than happy to do that too. Because you seem to have fucked it into a cocked hat. I want an explanation. And Marisol goes, 8 did what your family has made her and trained her to do, Miss Carlisle. She made a plan and executed it. Timed the guard rotations, capped surveillance, spoofed the sensors through all of Zone Kappa, just like we taught her. And Joe goes, I want to know who told her Sonia Bittner was here. And Marisol goes, no one told her. It was bad timing, that's all. She just wanted to go for a walk. She goes, you're telling me it was coincidence? And Marisol goes, it's not the first time something like this has happened. Forever figured out how to get up onto the roof when she was 7. She used to sneak up there at night to look at the stars. It took us a month to figure out why she's suddenly so tired all the time. It's where 8's at developmentally. She's curious, she's lonely. And now she has a friend. Yes, ma'am. You see them still playing the snowball. It's having a little snowball match outside. And Joe silently watches them for a second and goes, separate them. No further contact. Marisol goes, first thing I said to Sonia was that she couldn't say anything about this to anyone, especially not to either of them. She understands, Miss Carlisle. She adores your sister. She'd never do anything to hurt. And Joe goes, Marisol, until Miss Bittner's completed conditioning, we cannot take the risk. Inform Miss Bittner that she's being deployed. It's time for her to take the fight to the enemy. I feel so bad for baby Forever. And you see Sonia waving by as Marisol comes to retrieve her. And you see her kind of just kicking at the snow with their feet. And you see, hello, Forever, as Joe goes out to greet her. It's like, hello. So, do you know who I am? She's like, you're Joanna Carlisle, my sister. That's right. It's nice. And Forever goes, it's nice to meet you. It's like, is that how you greet your big sister? Forever's just, Alright, we'll talk about her at the end, but god damn do I hate her. And she goes, come here, and then she pulls Forever into a hug. I hate these manipulative bastards. And you see Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado, Carlisle Central Command, Family Carlisle. And you have General Valeri. Gideon Surveillance is reporting heavy hawk movement off the Mississippi border. Oh, I forgot to do this. I always forget to do this at the start of the video. You will hear a slight buzzing noise in the background. I have a fan running. because it is super hot in the office I'm recording in right now. But I did a couple of tests. It shouldn't be too distracting or drown out my voice or anything. But in case you're wondering what that noise was, it is a fan that's running. Just so everyone knows. And then you see mostly irregulars heading north, likely in response to our moving the 682nd into the region. So then he's taken the bait. It's like possibly. His options are limited until he can move troops in for a counteroffensive. Last thing he wants is our combat engineering turning his SAMs back on him. So what about the manufacturing centers? I've chopped the ground combat element from the 13th expeditionary. God, why is that such a hard word to say? Expeditionary unit over to the air group for insertion into Greensboro and Atlanta. Havana is still making me nervous though, even with the relatively fresh intel. It's like, would a Lazarus reassure you? It's like, absolutely, but my understanding is that your sister. And she goes, no, not my sister. I'm sending you Sonia Bittner. She's having her final medical now. And he goes, you give me a Lazarus, I can give you the Havana objective. And Joe goes, commence the operation at your discretion, General. Keep me posted. And you see her monitoring forever. God, no, you are not going to do this to me. You are not going to do this to me. And you see tears streaming down her face as she sees forever, hooked up all the machines as she's in recovery. And you see in Carlisle's room, have Arthur, how's my father doing? And he goes, he's breathing on his own now. Seems stable. General Valeri wanted to talk to you. And Joe goes, we just finished. I gave him the go-ahead. And you see, it's good strategy, Joe. Pairing Hawk's ability to manufacture the combat drugs he's feeding his troops means we're impairing Hawk himself, yes. Of course, Hawk knows that as well as we do. Can you arrange a meeting with Armitage, Arthur? Comms if needed, but in person would be better. Those might take some work, but it's certainly doable. Though it's my opinion that we should be focusing on our own problems before we consider opening another front in Europe, Joe. And she goes, Hawk opened it by proxy, Arthur, and all of his allies have joined the fight. It's the families that haven't moved yet that concern me. It's like the wild cards waiting for their moment to strike. It's time we push them into play. Vasilovka and Lee especially there. And Arthur goes, oh no, it's, fucking Malcolm goes, don't worry about Lee. I took care of that years ago. And she's like, Daddy? It's like, Malcolm. It's like, it's Vasilovka that's the variable. They'll feast on the first weakness they see. She goes, it's okay, Daddy. Arthur and I have everything under control. And he goes, where's my little girl? It's like, I'm right here, Daddy. He goes, oh, what a fucking ass. He goes, where's forever? And you see Graubünden, Kanton, Switzerland, Davos. As we see the team, I assume this is being led by Sonia Bittner, heading into, assume, the Vasilova compound. See some guards on patrol, taken out with a headshot. And she bashes the door in, stabs another guard through with a sword, and she goes in with guns blazing. What the hell is that on the Fickle's Champa? Someone spray painted that onto the symbol at the back. We see them taking up more soldiers as they head up the staircase. And someone lashes out with a sword and takes out one of the guards. You have Carlisle, bitch! I've been waiting for this since we met forever. I should have been the one to fight you at the conclave instead of that traitor Bittner whore. I would have broken your body in front of every family. I would have taken your head while your father wept. And he goes, have I scared you, little girl? Afraid to face a real Lazarus? Have you nothing to say for yourself? And Sonia just says one thing as she takes her helmet off and goes, get out of my mother's house, you horse fucking pile of shit. Okay, so they're taking back Bittner compound. And she faces off to get to the end of Cull Chapter 1. We go to Cull Chapter 2. You have April X plus 65, Graubünden, Kanton, Switzerland, Davos. You have Blue Wolf, daggers will stand down, please. You have Family Rausling, occupied Bittner. This is between Captain Mueller and myself. And he goes, don't go too far. You're next after I finish with this Bittner bitch. Ah, Sonia, I'm gonna bring Luca Rausling your head on a platter. She goes, come and get it. This guy's such a jackass. He's got like a little gladiator like shoulder pad with straps across his chest and 2 wrist guards with like no other armor on him whatsoever. And you see the kind of troops are getting sent flying back as fucking what the hell was his name? Mueller just starts like swinging wildly and he's smashing through the stone staircases, and Sonya's blocking as he lashes out with a fist. Again, I cannot do this choreography justice. I wish I had a physical copy in my hands if I kind of showcase the pages. But I just highly recommend reading along with this. You have like a better idea of what's going on, because it is really, really well done and choreographed. But you see him kind of backhanding her and sending her flying down the stairs, and he tries to leap off the stairs and impale her with a sword. She dodges out of the way, and as she does, he goes in for a kick and slams her into the wall. And he gets a sword and he tries to slash her again, and she brings hers up to defend, and then she pushes it to the ground and smacks him with the butt of the blade. And as he's reeling from that, she chops down into his shoulder and then stabs him through the chest. And of course, he pulls her in closer, so she just headbutts his nose. And then we pick up back in the southern Sierra Nevadas, compound Sequoia family Carlisle, and you have 4 weeks ago. Jeff, surgery went flawlessly, exactly like I said it would. There was never an issue of rejection. The new leg is performing perfectly. Excuse me. She's suffering some lingering pain, to be expected, and her mood has been more subdued than usual. And Joe asks, when do we start physical therapy? And Beth goes, we started 4 days ago. James and Michael are with her at PT now. You have James and who? And Beth goes, Dr. Barrett. I know I told you about him. He's a fucking genius, Joe. Maybe as smart as Mom was. And because of that, you're letting him treat forever? And Beth goes, this young man is gifted. I brought him in to help treat Father. Only 20, but he's going to be invaluable to the project. And Joe's like, wait, you brought him in without consulting me? How much does he know? Does he know about conditioning? About 8? And Beth goes, I don't need your permission to. Goes, Lazarus program access has to be approved by head of family. Stephen said nothing about this to me. When Beth goes, which was Stephen. And then Joe responds with, Stephen said nothing about this to me. And Beth goes, I was trying to save our father's life. You're only acting head of family anyway, Joanna. And now that Father's recovering, she goes, I'm head of family until Father says otherwise. And he hasn't said it yet, Bethany. She goes, he will. It's like, well, I'm going to visit him next, so I'll make a point of asking him for you. But at this moment, I'm head of family, and I want this genius gone until he's vetted properly. She goes, you're such a bitch. It runs in the family. Make it happen, Beth. And then you see back in the PT training as Forever's running on the treadmill. Jeff, slow down. Let's bring the weight down. And she's like, no, turn it up. She's like, please, James, I can do this. And he's like, fine. She's like, I can do this. I can do this. I can. And you see her stumbling. And she has to like hold on to the bars to stop herself. He's like, get her out. And Michael goes, you did really well, Commander. She goes, no, I didn't, Dr. Barrett. Excuse me. Oh, no, that's Michael saying, excuse me, as he sees Beth outside. She goes and has the conversation with him. And we see number 8. Oh, should I just call her Forever? I want to call her Young Forever because I like that better than number 8. See Young Forever sparring with Marisol again. He goes, watch your footwork. Footwork is everything. Good. Excellent. Excellent. And you see Young Forever disarms Marisol. She goes, outstanding, Forever. Jeff, agreed. Beautiful blade work, Eve. I've rarely seen better. Fuck, I hate this asshole. You see Malcolm sitting on a bench nearby watching. And she goes, thank you, Father. He's like, so proud of you. And he plants a little kiss on her forehead. And Marisol goes, Forever needs to shower and clean up before meeting with Miss Kwan. And it might be wise to get you out of the cold as well, sir. Goes, the cold and I are old friends, Marisol. But we don't want to keep Mrs. Kwan waiting. What is it today? It's calculus. I kind of hate it. Yet you love your language classes, and math is just another language, and where have I heard that before? It's like, you used to say that to me all the time. How you doing, little sister? And Joe comes in. She's like, I'm doing good, thank you. Will I see you later? It's like, you bet. Marisol walks off with her. Malcolm goes, I understand the Havana and Atlanta objectives have been secured. And she goes, Morey's reinforcing us in Cuba as we speak. What about Greensboro? You see Hawk's fighting us every inch of the way. We're paying in a lot of blood. General Valeri is asking for Lazarus to assist. And he goes, Forever's in no condition to be redeployed. He's hoping for Sonia Bittner. We used her in Cuba. He'll take Joaquim or Wenning if he can get them. And Malcolm goes, Edgar won't move Joaquim away from the front with D'Souza. And I don't see Carragher sending Miss Pertwee across the Pacific when he's worrying about Mineta. So it has to be Sonia. And he goes, get Savara's blessing first. Sonia's mother's feeling powerless right now. Don't rub it in. She and her girls are staying at the center? It's like, no, in Vancouver with Arthur's family. Good, that's good. And you've been checking on your mother? Yes, Father. You see him standing outside silently as he goes, how does it feel? She's like, Father? And he goes, to have what you wanted. You're head of family. That is what you've always wanted, isn't it? She goes, I want to succeed you, not replace you. He goes, the one necessitates the other, Joanna. She goes, yes, it's what I want, and I'm good at it. You think so too. That's why you haven't maybe stepped down yet. He goes, or perhaps I'm too weak to resume control. She goes, if that's what you want me to believe. And they stare at each other for a second before Malcolm goes, you'll continue for the time being, with my blessing. She goes, thank you. Tell me about Forever. 7, not 8. And Joe goes, physically, recovering and recovering quickly. But I don't know what's going on in her head. She stopped taking her meds somewhere after the conclave. As a result, we almost lost her in Duluth. And she's been, I don't want to say hostile, but passive-aggressive with me. And he goes, she's back on the regimen? Yes. 8 isn't anywhere near ready. We can't afford Forever going off the reservation. Sonia Bittner cannot be allowed to tell Forever about the existence of 8. She goes, I know that too. And he goes, then you know what you have to do about it. Bittner is a dying line. She's like, I'll take care of it. And he goes, the way you took care of your brother? Oh, slimy bitch. It's like, you're the one who had Jonah killed. I just wanted him out of my way. And spared him right into a life of torture and misery. And she goes, Jonah's choices were his own. You knew what I was doing and you didn't stop me. All part of your grand plan? And he goes, perhaps. She goes, so, I betrayed my brother, but you had your son murdered. And he goes, you will not shame me with my sins, Joanna. I know them far better than you. And he goes, she goes, we need Forever. Oh, no, that's him. He goes, we need Forever on our side, Joanna. Do whatever you must to keep her there. We see San Francisco family Carlisle. And you see this nice little house. Malcolm walks up the steps, and you have, just a sec. You have, hi, Dad. It's like, Michael. Oh, God, Michael, it's so good to see you. As Joe comes out to hug him. And you see inside as he's taking a seat, Bobby goes, at you, we were so worried. The best we could get out of the school is a meeting with Dean Muir. And all she would tell us was that you were helping the family with the war effort. Where have you been? He's like, I've been working for the family. I'm not really allowed to say anything more. Joe's like, both of them. He's like, yeah. You're what? And Bobby goes, Cassie's not the same. Not as mysterious. We know she was on the front, but she won't tell us where. And you hear her, she's fine, and she's really happy to see you. She comes in to give, God. Why did I just blank on his name completely? Michael a hug. I don't know what the hell that was. And you see with some weight training, Forever's trying to use just her. So you can see, like, when you look at the leg, you can see, like, how desiccate is not the right word, but desiccated, like how it looks like. It looks a lot. So it looks like the Matrix when they do the opening scene in the Matrix, and you have like fucking Neo recovering from like the muscle not being used, like how thin and like wasted it looks. You have the same thing with Forever. Like one leg is like super muscular looking, the other one's still looking super weak, and she's trying to lift with the weaker leg to kind of like exercise it, and she's struggling to like lift the weight. She's like, fuck. And then Joe comes in to see her and goes, Dr. Mann says you took a fall during PT. Now this? Jesus Christ, Forever. Haven't you hurt yourself enough today? Forever just kind of staring at her. She's sweating. As Joe goes, the silent treatment's getting old. You see Forever getting her crutches as she's walking past Joanna. And she goes, I want you to think about something, Joanna. I want you to think about what would happen if it turns out the drugs you used to control me don't work anymore. I know what you did. I know what I am. And I want you to get out of my way now. And Joe stares at her before walking off to the side. Forever goes, thank you, as she leaves. And we pick up back in Graubunden with Mueller and Bittner, Sonia still facing off. And you see one of the daggers is signaling to one of the others to take up a sniper position as they continue their duel. And you see them fire, taking aim on Mueller. And he goes, you have Sonia just going, as Mueller goes, you laugh? You dare laugh? And she goes, I just remembered what Xiaolong said at the conclave. Is it true, Christoph? Are you really fucking Luca Rausling's wife? And you see him just getting mad as he's swinging the sword back and he's trying to slam it down on Sonia. She goes, temper, Captain. And she manages to deflect it into one of the railings nearby and slams her foot onto it to block it. And then she elbows him in the face. And as she grabs him from behind and just throws him over the railing, he lands with a splat as she just vaults over it with sword in hand and gets ready to behead him. She goes, you're an asshole, Captain. And now you're a dead one. And she just swings her sword down. And you have, damn. You see Sergeant Park. Nicely done, ma'am. She goes, you are kind. Burn his body. You may inform General Valeri that we have removed the first Lazarus, and that the Allied invasion of Europe may begin. So you get to the end of Cull Chapter 2 and you get to Cull Chapter 3. You have May X65, 8.676 kilometers north of Bastia, Corsica. You have population weighs to 190,500 estimated. Population family to population serf active duty Rausling forces 1,200. And we see Basilisk transmission, secure black. Admiral Sanger R. Karsek. Subject Operation Candlelight, standby to receive. We see message begins. Gideon analytic report. 91.73% probable target designated. Peregrine will attempt exfil via Bastia, Corsica. 67.93% probable D'Souza assets en route to aid extraction. Dagger Team Alpha directed to eliminate target Peregrine. You have say again, Dagger Team Alpha directed, eliminate target Peregrine. Additional Allied asset assigned this operation. Action authorized by Hoff, this date. Additional from Hoff to Dagger Alpha. Kill the Rausling son of a bitch. Message ends. And you see this convoy is being led out of the city as they fire a rocket launcher off to destroy one of the rear guards. And another one to get the front convoy. As you see the sports car that Rausling's driving in starting to canneer. You have support. Vehicles out. Cowboy Blue Wolf. Peregrine is open. Repeat, Peregrine is open. He's all yours. And you see, assuming this is going to be Sonia just leaping in, swords drawn, slamming it into the car. So one of the guards gets taken in the shoulder. Oh no, this might be Joaquin. You see sword stabbing in again as he kills the rest of the guards and the driver. And you see the car going into a slide as it flips over. Jeff, help! Someone, please! Anything, I'll give you anything. I don't want to die. Please! Yeah, it's Joaquin. So he just grabs her by the throat, stabs the throat with the sword. But you have Blue Wolf, cowboy vehicle neutralized, Peregrine on track. Have confirmed, we're en route. He goes, that won't be necessary, my friend. This will not take very long. You have Southern Sierra Nevada, Compound Square, Family Carlisle, etc. You have in C, and that's double with those 3 points, so 30 points. You have 2 weeks ago. It's like, it is two a word. It's like, oh yeah? What does it mean? It's like vindicate, from the Latin vindicare. It means to, like, be proved right about something. And Sonia's like, no it does. Oh, that's Joe. Sorry, Joe goes, no it doesn't. It's like, it does. It totally does, Joe. And you see her and Young Forever playing a Scrabble, I assume. It's like, you're making it up. It's like, it's a word. It's a real word. It's like, prove it. She said, fine, we'll look it up. It's like, oh, no, you don't. He's like, yeah, stop me. And she's just grabbing her, tickling her. It's like, if you, It's like, come back here. It's like, let go, let go, let go. It's like, not a word, it's not. And I see them play wrestling. And as Forever's training kicks in, she just kind of slams Joe into the ground. It's like, oh my god, Joe, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I forgot. And Joe's like, oh, damn it, you are strong, Forever. It's like, okay, you win. Ouch, it's a real word. It's like, I hope you feel. It's like, oh no, don't you say it. She's like, vindicated. You see later that night, Malcolm is playing chess with Forever as he goes, it's your move. And she just kind of locked her fingers and she's looking contemplative in thought. He's like, Forever, your move. And she stays silent for a minute before she goes, I know. He goes, go ahead. I know. I know what I am, Father. If I can even call you that. It's like, of course you can call me that. She's like, how? You had me made in a lab to be a weapon. To be your weapon. You lied to me and you used drugs to make me believe you all your lies. It's like, Forever. It's like, don't touch me. To keep me loyal, to make me love you and Beth and Stephen and Joanna. Calling me your daughter, telling me this is my family, that I'm Carlisle. And it's just a lie. And I should have known, and I think maybe I did. But I didn't want it to be true. But it is. It's all been a lie. And you see her arms crossed, she's just looking away, looking all hurt. And Malcolm stands up and goes, all I can say is this. Few things are as simple as we imagine them to be, Forever. If your mother had carried you 9 months, or if we had adopted you instead of engineering you, you would still be my daughter. And you would still be the daughter I wanted. Good night, Forever. And he's here just starting to tear up as he leaves. And she just kind of smashes the chess table off in a fit of rage before she kind of buries her face in her hands and starts crying. Then you see back in San Francisco, it's like, my arm, Mike, careful. It's like, Casey. It's like, Mike, oh, Michael. It's like, Casey. Oh, God. And you see that they're just finished having some coitus. And she's like, that was, like, oh, I needed that. And you see them kissing again. We were too noisy. Not nearly noisy enough. Whoever the fuck it is, I'm fucking telling them to go the fuck away. That was a lot of fuck. It's like, more where that came from, science boy. You see how she answers the door, yeah, can I help you? Yeah, this is the Barrett residence? It is, but Joe and Bobby are out right now. You'll have to come back. And the delivery guy goes, delivery for Corporal Solomon KCJ. Your chip is verified. She's like, what? It's like, wait, what? It's like, have a nice day. And Michael asks, Casey, who was it? And she sees a letter addressed to her, and he goes, holy shit. What's up? She's like, holy shit. I've been ordered to report for dagger selection. And you see, back in the Carlisle compound, you have, need to get in front of this, and we need to do it now. We have settled down, Bethany. It's like, if I'm concerned, Father, it's only because we've been here before. We've got to up her meds, or we're going to lose all control over Forever. And you have James going, that hasn't worked very well in the past. And she goes, we've adjusted the regimen since then. We have a much better grasp of the drug interactions. I know what you're thinking, James, but it'll be different this time. Malcolm goes, or will it be history repeating itself? And she goes, it will be different this time, Father. We learned a lot and there's really no other choice. And Joe goes, we could tell her the truth. Are you out of your fucking mind? We'll lose all control over her. The psychological damage? Joanna, there's no way to know how she'll react. Joe goes, why not? She's halfway there already. I think we need to seriously consider it. Malcolm goes, if we weren't at war, it might be worth pursuing. But I'm inclined to agree with your sister and James. It's very risky. She goes, I think that's a mistake. And Malcolm goes, go ahead and adjust her regimen. We'll see if that doesn't modify her behavior. Beth goes, at once, Father. And you see later on, Miss Carlisle, miss. They have Joe going, good evening. So you can relax, guys. I just came in to say hello, as you were. Like, yes, miss. It's all quiet on the Western Front. Like, I'm sorry, miss. It's an old joke, never mind. Just making sure, oh, God. Just making sure everyone's safe and snug in their beds. And you see she's pressing execute on a program on her phone. And you see as Forever's laying in bed. Her phone goes with so I have a ding, ding, ding as the bell's ringing. And she's looking at the message on her phone, which he's not your father, it's not your family. She goes, go away. And Joe comes in and goes, come with me, quickly. It's like, why would I do anything you ask, Joe? She goes, because I'm going to tell you the truth. Come on. And she's got her jacket with her. She goes, middle of a war and you decide to have a crisis of faith. It's like, where are we going? Joe goes, you'll see. I heard about what you said to Dad. I imagine a lot of it extends to me, how we've lied to you. It's like, you've used me, all of you, and you most of all. It's like, of course we've used you. You're our family's Lazarus. What are we supposed to do? Teach you to make balloon animals and host a fucking kid show on the post? You're not just our Lazarus, you're the Lazarus. You're the one every other family measures against, for fuck's sakes. It's like, you're the heart of Carlisle forever. Hearts get broken, but they mend. And you see, head of family, access granted. And you have, what is this? Oh. You have something you're never supposed to know about. James, Dad, Beth, they're all afraid of what you might do if you found out. I've always been afraid of what you would do if you didn't. This is the truth forever. She takes her into the storage room where you see like all the canisters you see in like the sci-fi movies and shit, like in Alien and like Jurassic Park, where you see like various different body parts of forever, torsos, arms, legs, things all like separated and contained. They have 7.90 kilometers north of Bastia, Corsica. You have, I assume this is Rousling trying to run away from Joaquin, and he goes stumbling down the cliff. You have, good evening, Luca. Oh yeah, it's Sonia coming down. And she goes, no, don't get up. It's like, it isn't as if there's someplace for you to go, is there? You have, Joaquin, More. Good evening, Herr Rousling. And she goes, you brought this upon yourself, Luca. You have nowhere left to run. You have no allies to rely upon. It's only you, the last branch of a dead family. He goes, so too is yours. Bittner is dead, and Moray will follow. Carlisle has no allies, only those he uses, and so they just beheads him in the next panel. She goes, that was from my mother. She goes, who's next? And Joaquin responds to Sousa. It's like, of course. So, how have you been? It's like, oh, busy, you know how it is. God. As we get to Cull Chapter 4. Based on timing, I'm probably going to drop it at this chapter. Let me just look up something quickly. I want to see how many... Actually, you know what? Let me finish this chapter and see how many pages are left. You see May X65, continuing their rapid and relentless recovery of family Bittner territory throughout Western Europe, now liberated in the wake of the Rousling family's collapse, with combat operations primarily limited to the support of ongoing humanitarian relief efforts. For reasons of operational security, I am of course not permitted to disclose our exact location. What I can say is that I've witnessed firsthand the cooperation amongst Carlisle allies, including elements from Moray. And you see Sonia just leaping into battle, sword drawn, as she's firing away on enemy troops. And you see Joaquin just wailing away with the swords as well. And you have, as well as Armitage, all united in their efforts to defeat what remains of the Rousling resistance. For now, the fighting has stopped. I'm Sarah Cooper, and you've been watching a lit live stream from deep within liberated Rousling territory. And, God, that was crap. You see 54 kilometers east of Frankfurt and under Oder, Germany. Family was Rousling, now Bittner. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It's like, I love you, Luis, but trust me, crap. Even the visual was crap. I need something with more meat. And you see Sonia walking by. Yeah, follow me. It's like, oh, no. This is not a good idea, see. It's like, it's a great idea. Sonia Bittner, first ever battlefield interview with a Lazarus. That's a 3rd Shona award right there. It's like, for you. It's, and you first. And you're first. And Luis goes, if broadcast oversight doesn't spike it and fire us, Lieutenant Mays is going to be back any minute. Which is why we've got to move fast. They won't fire on us, Luis. It's like, meaning they won't fire you. It's like, us. Come on, say it with me. Shona Award winner. It's like, see? It's like, come on, Shona Award. He goes, winner. We're going to send down. You know that, right? So I think she went that way. They start following her off. Following her. As she's in a little combat tent. You have the benefit the dear departed Luca already had his artillery pre-sighted along the potential routes. With good reason, Tomas. Vaslovka has never been a family to take lightly. You have, so 2 choices. Figure the scary bear is coming to visit Grandma via Red Route 1 or Red Route 2, yes? Or both. And to think, she was so sweet and innocent at the conclave all those months ago. She's all grown up, Joaquin. And you see, Joaquin going, I don't think Sonia was ever so sweet or innocent as you imagine, Thomas. He goes, a man can dream. So we need better recon. Agreed. And Sonia goes, I can speak to Major Donald. Plan an insertion with Dagger Team Bravo. And you see the next one, they all have their swords drawn as we have, may we help you? And C's like, yes, yes you can. We go back to the Carlisle family compound 12 days ago. And you see James is going in to check on young baby Forever. You see Dadit as he goes in to check on Forever. And he's like, Forever? Just wanted to say goodnight. And he sees that she's not in bed. And he goes, Marisol, James, have you seen Forever? And you see back in the little body room. Yeah, Forever going, this is me? All of these things? How many of me are there? And Joe goes, these aren't you. These are just spare parts. Pieces James and Bethany grow to keep you going. So lose an arm, lose a leg, lose a lung, doesn't matter. What you can't heal yourself, they'll replace it for you. She's like, I'm a monster, that's what I am. I'm a monster. And Joe's like, no, you're not the monster here. He's like, I'm a clone, just a copy. And she's like, it doesn't work like that. So then how the fuck does it work? She goes, you are made, you know that, grown in the lab. But there are others. There have been others. It's like, yes. How many? It's like, Forever. How many, Joanna? She goes, you're the 7th. The first one where everything worked as intended. I told you, you're not a Lazarus, you're the Lazarus. There's never been anyone like you. No other family has come close. And Forever's silent for a second before she goes, what happened to them, to the others? She goes, I don't know. Dead. The first couple were pure experiments, proof of concept. The others, science has never been my forte. Things went wrong with the genetics or the medications or I don't know. It took a long time before they got it perfect, before they made you. And she goes, Joe, am I the only Forever Carlisle? And Joe looks kind of like looking a bit anguished. And she goes, training a new one, the way you were trained. A replacement in case something happens to you. She's not ready yet. It's like, what does that mean? It's like, she's 11. Forever goes, does she know? It's that you exist? Of course not. You're not supposed to know. You were never supposed to know any of this. Father will kill me. He will kill me. Do you understand? He ever finds out I bought you here, that I told you this? And she goes, he's that afraid of me knowing the truth? She's like, not just him. You have James. I've checked everywhere. She's not in Recorder. She's not in any of the gyms. She's not on the range. So did you check the roof? She used to go up. I remember. She's not on the roof, Marisol. I'm not sure I follow concern. Zone Cap has been in lockdown since 8 went walkabout. And James goes, she knows Malcolm's been lying to her. We've been trying to reassert conditioning, but it hasn't had time to take yet. She's been fighting it. It's happening again, Marisol. So when was the last time anyone saw her? It's like this morning. She did PT, put in some range time, then went back to her room. If she's decided to leave and didn't want us to know, it's like, oh, easily over 12 hours. She could be out of family territory by now and halfway to Australia. Did you run telemetry? So we disabled it when we operated on her. We hadn't brought it back online yet. There hadn't been a need. It's like, you fucking idiots. We need to inform Malcolm and Joanna. She goes, not yet. Let me do a hard search before we assume the worst. You should have told her, James. All of you. You should have told her years ago. And you see, I want to meet her. The younger me, I want to meet her. You want me to trust you? That's how you do it. Joe goes, you're not thinking and we're running out of time. We've got 5.5 minutes to get out of here before the alarms come back online. And Forever goes, I think that's more your problem than mine. And Joe goes, you're out of conditioning. She's deep in it. Think about what you're asking and then think about how you were at that age. And she goes, if she's me, she can handle it. And she goes, but she's not you. She's her. She's her. Same template, different structure built on it. Everything they did, everything Daddy said to you, all the medications, every lie is for one reason and one reason only, to control you. And they've gotten even better at it with her. And she goes, you want to control me too. This is just another way to do it. Joe's like, no. He's like, don't lie to me anymore. Don't lie to me, Joe. Not anymore, not here. Joe goes, forever, we're here because I don't want to lie to you anymore. We're here because someone has to tell you the truth. And everyone upstairs is too fucking scared to do it. Is it because I'll lose control? It's like, yes. So you show me this so you gain control. I don't want to. I said don't lie. It's like, I thought I did. I thought I had to. Daddy controlled you. I need to get you from him or get you gone. I was wrong about a lot of things. It's 3 minutes. And she goes, what do you want? And Joe goes, it doesn't matter. We're out of time. When Father finds out I'm dead and you, Bethany, will up your conditioning so much you won't be able to do anything but obey. And she goes, they can do that? So they won't be happy about it. It'll destroy your personality. It'll, quote, impair your cognitive abilities, end quote. But they'll do it, at least until your replacement is ready. And Forever contemplates before she goes, tell me what you want, Joe. She goes, I want you on my side. I want you on my side because that's where you want to be. So to do what? So to change the world. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but the world is pretty fucking broken right now. And Daddy's way sure as hell isn't making it better. They're giving me the drugs again, Joe. I've been cheating on them, but I can't cut them out entirely. If I don't take them, I get sick. I don't work right, and if I do, I know. You have to figure out how to change my medication without them knowing. So I can do what I need to do so that I can be me. So I can think for myself. How much time do we have? It's 53 seconds. So can you do it? Will you do that for me? So yes, but it's too late where she goes, I got busted for going up on the roof when I was little. They didn't realize it pretty much mapped the entire facility everywhere I could reach. And she just hoists Joe up. He's like, hey, never could make it down here. Now I know why. And you see James pour himself a drink as Marisol comes in and goes, nothing. So we have to tell them. It's like, yes. So I love her. So I know James. I do too. And you see Secure Camp Feed Cycle running. You see Forever and Joe walking through one of the entrance doors. Jeff needed another layer if we're going to be out for that long. It's not that cold. Not to you, maybe. Me, I'm freezing my tits off. See, Dr. Mann, Sergeant Ocampo, what are you two still doing up? It's just making the rounds. So where have you two been? And Joe goes, my sister and I had some things to talk about. And she insisted we talk about them outside, in the cold. She goes, I'm heading to bed. I'm glad we talked, Joe. I am too. Sleep well. As Forever walks off, James goes, everything all right, Miss Carlyle? I think so, James. I think so. Oh. And then we have 3.7 kilometers west of Rizpen, Poland. Rousling disputed. We have, like we agreed, right? You stay back, you do what I say, you get your footage run with the interview. And then I get to take you to dinner back in London. Good fucking Lord, Thomas, you fucking horn dog. It was agreed, but I'm warning you, I'm not cheap, Sir Thomas. It's like, Miss Cooper, I wouldn't want to take you out to dinner if you were. It's like, we'll do a breach on the farmhouse, give you something nice for the camera. I'll let you know when you can come in. And you have Louise asking, is it safe? So we sent an advance team in an hour ago to do a wreck. No danger, just a family of 5 will be more than happy to enthusiastically welcome liberation from Rousling's tyranny. She's like, you're sure? If they want the new truck they were promised, they damn well better. And you see a little camera angles like, you're getting this? It's like, I'm recording. It's like, I wish we could do this live. It's like you're trying to get us fired, I swear to God. So I'll square it with Lieutenant Mays. It's like, yeah, you're gonna let him take you out to dinner too? Fuck you, Louise. It's like, come on, Sir Thomas said, I know what he said, come on. It's like, clear out, everyone, clear out. It's like, oh my God, it's like, fall back, bloody now, you can still be here. And then turn that fucking camera off. And you see inside, oh, the fuck. And you see inside is just an absolute bloodbath. The family that was inside has been completely slaughtered. Jeff, who did this? Jeff, the Zemay. Said, what? Said, the Zemay, the dragon. He's Vasilovka's Lazarus. He's here. So you get the end of Cull, chapter 4. Goddamn, alright. Trying to debate because it's at 50 minutes right now. I'm debating whether I should do one more chapter. You know what? One more chapter. Because you cannot do that to me. You have Cull, chapter 5. You have this barbarian-looking motherfucker on the cover. Axe in one hand, this mace in the other. Like this belt of human bones hanging around his waist. You have June X65. 11.8 kilometers north, Sadau, Poland. Family, Rausling contested. Carlisle Coalition, Vasilovka. Yeah, it's vital to understand that Vasilovka deploys their Lazarus in a very specific limited role. Not as a force multiplier, but rather as a morale breaker. They've made themselves a monster. One they don't so much deploy as unleash. You have turning them loose in specific theaters to create as much carnage as possible, then following up with more conventional military action. This creates a number of problems. You see just a pile of corpses that have been left by the Lazarus. You have left unchecked, he can do incredible damage to our assets. Everything from material to personnel. But we can never be certain if he's the antecedent to a major attack, or simply a distraction that draws away from Vasilovka's true objective. And you see, what I'm saying comes down to this, Commander. Don't trust anything or anyone once you've got your boots on the ground. And you see Hakim and Sonia waiting for forever. She disembarks from a helicopter. Jeff, where? So we think the church. Area secure? Secure as we can make it. Blue Wolf and Dagger Alpha withdrawn to a safe perimeter. It's good to see you again forever. So it would be better under better circumstances. You have just a moment. You have Hakim as he goes in for the kiss. Oh, man. And he goes, let's slay a dragon, as they all just walk in looking badass as hell. You have 7 days ago, Golden Gate Park, San Francisco, family Carlisle. You see that Malcolm's coming in for a meeting with Michael. I don't know why the hell I have such a time remembering his name. And you see he gets into the car with Joe, and she goes, oh, it's not Malcolm, it's Joe coming in. And she goes, Dr. Barrett, I don't believe we've been properly introduced. I'm Joanna Carlisle. He goes, yes, you are. You're scared of me. I'd be a fool not to be. She goes, nice to know you're not a fool. I need your help, Dr. Barrett. It's like, you need my help? It's like, well, not me, no. My sister, actually. And you see in the Sierra Nevada compound, you have Forever doing some strength training. She's doing some push-up with her thumbs and reciting her Latin. As you have Nona Gita Septem, Nona Ginta et Octo. And you have Baby Forever sparring with Marisol. It's like, good, use your hips. It's the time for your regimen. And you have Forever. And if you can spare the attitude this time, you see James giving young Forever hers as Beth is giving old Forever hers. And you see both of them taking it. Jeff, hold your horses, still need to do your injection. And Baby Forever's like, James! It's like, I know. And you see Elder Forever also getting it as Baby Forever goes back to her spar. It's like, it's for your own good, Forever. Try to remember that. It's like, yes, Beth. And you see Forever going back to her room, filling up some water. She makes herself throw up the medication. Yeah, where are we with the change in the regimen? And you have Malcolm asking this as James goes, 8's responding. I believe she's at center. It's like, wait a moment, where's Joe? It's like, I just thought as acting head of family, she might want to be here. That's all, Father. So there is a war. Oh no, that's sorry. So it's, wait a minute, where's Joe? Then Malcolm going, I believe she's at center. Yeah, there is a war on Bethany. Now, where were we? And James goes, as I was saying, 8 is responding very well to the new regimen. No complication, no contradictions, no complications at all. And Beth goes, our intention is to activate the next set of augments by the end of June. And he goes, make sure Marisol is fully briefed. She'll need to account for the new ability suite in 8's training. What about Forever? It's like, she started a new course a couple days ago. It'll be another week before it's completed. We'll know more then. He goes, check her blood work. She's more than capable of tricking us into believe she's doing what we've asked. And James goes, I'm not certain we need to be overly concerned. Joe had a heart-to-heart with Forever last week, and Eve's attitude, while not what it was, seems to have improved. He goes, has it indeed? And you see that Joe's taking Michael for a walk along the beach. As he goes, I don't understand. She goes, yes you do. You're as smart as my sister thinks you are, and I checked up on you, and you are, you absolutely do. Some of the medications Dr. Mann had me giving Miss Bittner, at first I thought I just didn't understand the gene therapy, but you don't need mood-altering drugs to influence induction triggers. It just wasn't my place to ask. And Joe goes, it's alright, Michael, you can say it. It's how you control them, to influence how they feel, about you, how they feel about you, how they can think. It's like, yes, we do. It's like, it's wrong. It's like, they're not bullets, Michael, they're people. Very dangerous people if they're not kept in check. Or would you rather a world ruled by Lazarus? So you know that my sister that forever is on the same medications. It seems self-evident. She goes, as I understand it, the drugs do two things. They maintain their abilities primarily regenerative, and they enforce their loyalty. Here's my question. Can they be separated without impairing those abilities? He goes, oh, absolutely. The one has no bearing on the other. It's all in the interactions. Just a question of how they talk to each other, so to speak. She goes, can it be done without anyone knowing we've done? He goes, that's different. The absence would show up in the lab. You need to spoof the blood work, either on site or in the system. And Joe goes, this is everything I could download from Sequoia. She hands him a thumb drive. And goes, should be enough to get you started before I can get you back there. It should go without saying the only people who are to know about this are myself, you, and forever. And he stops for a second contemplating this before he goes, you're asking me to commit treason. Treason against the family is death. She goes, how can it be treason if I'm the one asking you to do it, Michael? She goes, because you don't, and he goes, because you don't want anyone else to know. She goes, you're right. It's very dangerous. You know that for both of us. Which means we're in it together, Michael. You do your part, I'll do mine. He goes, why? She goes, you know the answer to that. He goes, no, I mean, why do you want to do this? What's the point? You free Sonia Bittner, you free your sister, to what end? She goes, that doesn't concern you. He goes, it concerns me if I'm going to risk my life for it. And she goes, I'm keeping a promise. Jeff, I understand that you and Joanna had a talk. And you see 5 days ago, and Forever goes, oh no, Malcolm goes, I'm curious if that means you're now willing to speak to me again. And Forever goes, I don't know what to say to you. And he goes, tell me how you're feeling. She goes, foolish. So why is that? I said things to you I can't take back. I acted like a child. It's like, no, Forever, you were hurt, and you had every right to be when we get hurt. We get angry. I stand by what I said. You are my daughter regardless of how you came into this world. But I should have told you the truth a long time ago. Can you forgive me? Of course I can, Father. And he goes in for a hug. He goes, you make me very proud, Forever. She goes, I hope so, sir. I try to. So I'll leave you to it. I know you're anxious to get back into action. You know that Joaquin Moret has been deployed to the European theater, yes? She goes, I've been reading the briefings. I saw it mentioned. And he went, you two have grown quite close, haven't you? She goes, we are fond of each other. He goes, everyone is looking at Vasilovka right now, Forever, and with good reason. But don't take the Moray family for granted, regardless of how you feel about their Lazarus. And you see 4 days ago at Stanford University, yeah, as the request came directly from the family, I'm to provide you with anything you need, Michael. Hopefully you'll find the facilities to your liking, though I'm not really certain what you are going to need. It's like, this will do fine. Thank you, Dean Moore. It's like, I trust you'll tell your family you think so. Yeah, who is this? So I was told you need an assistant from outside the genetics group, preferably a biochemist. You have Michael Barrett. We see Katie Rosales. So yeah, thank you, Dean Muir. I'll let you know if I need anything else. And you see, what's your focus? Primarily agriculture. Crops? It's like, yes. What about neurochemistry or virus construction? Specifically to inhibit elements of the genome. And Katie goes, not outside Serena construction implementation, but that's confined to plants. Your neurochemistry, you're talking about working on people. He goes, let's get started. We have 3 days ago, lost contact with the OP outside of Sulisin as of 242 local. Dagger Bravo had quick response, was on site within 7 minutes of the alert. They found the post destroyed, 18 dead, another 4 MIA. Captured? More likely they're dead too. The brutality of the Zeme can make establishing an accurate body count challenging. We've got unconfirmed sightings putting him as far west as Furstenwalde, as far south as Prague. Is he being used to test our defenses or to distract us? West and south, not north, trying to open Red Route 2 for an invasion corridor? So it should be obvious. Perhaps if you shared your predictive models it would be, General Valeri. Perhaps if you shared your predictive models it would be to General Valeri and I as well. Would you care to, Father, or would you rather we just guess? Malcolm goes, it's strategic propaganda. Vasilovka's calling our Lazarite out. The Zeme's attacks will continue to escalate, costing us more in lives and material, all the while undermining coalition morale. Every report, every attack, every attempt to stop him that fails will let his reputation grow. We are in fact being used by Vasilovka to create his monster. We locate him and bomb him back to the Precambrian. And if that fails, if he survives everything we throw at him from bombs to artillery, we will have made him invincible. And Joe goes, we have 3 Lazari in the field right now. Forever could join them within 24 hours. That's 4 Lazari to face 1. He goes, yes it is. 4 of them in the same place. At best, we and our allies will have committed our arguably greatest strategic resource to deal with ultimately a minor strategic threat. And at worst, we could come out of this having lost all of them. Shit. And Malcolm goes, you're head of family, Joanna. What are you going to do? And then we see 2 days ago, you see some encrypted messaging. As you have first gen sampling closed. Until I can dig deeper into her genome and construct a virus to cut out the master control factors governing behavior, this is the best I can do. This is stopgap treatment only. It goes without saying it hasn't been tested. For now, though, this should be enough to effectively mute the receptors in question. She should see an immediate effect, and if it's working right, won't raise any flags under simple blood screen. I cannot stress this enough. There has been no opportunity to test this. And you see, 1 day ago, it may not even work. You see Forever doing some gun training. And if it does work, it likely won't work for long. You have last note. This technique should be invisible under cursory exam. That said, it will show up under detailed blood work. So let's all hope there's no need for that. I'll keep at it until you say otherwise. You see Joe coming into a hug as she injects her with it, right before Beth comes in to take a blood sample. And then we pick up with the 3 Lazari heading into the abandoned church. You have Thomas, who goes, hello, Forever. It's action on my mark. It's like, I love it when you talk dirty. And you see him just having a rocket launcher at the ready as he's watching. And you have in 3, 2, 1. And she's bringing up the rear, and Joachim and Sonia are opening the doors. Yeah, I am Carlisle. I'm the voice of my family, and my words are shared by Bittner, by Armitage, and by Moray. Vasilovka will abandon their claim to the territory lost by Rausling, or they will be destroyed. And you see just a host of bodies inside you. Carlisle comes to church. Forgive your father, for he has sinned. Holy shit, you see this absolute giant of a man just coming out swinging as he swings his mace forward, and Forever goes flying back. He goes, action, action, action! And what was it? Thomas fires out the rocket at him. Seemingly has no effect. As he goes, flesh will burn. And Jeff, gah! As he lashes out with the mace and sends Sonia flying. And Thomas goes, oh shit, 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 shit. And you have Sonia, move! It's like, Thomas, Joachim! And you see Forever engaging when she stabs him in the back. Jeff, hit him! As he lashes out at her. Jeff, fuck you. And fuck you. As he tries to lash out with the mace, and Forever slides in underneath and slices him. And he lashes out with a kick and sends her flying. Jeff, modify, error 52, It's like, Joachim, take the right. Have unavailable. As Joachim's head seems to be getting messed with, his eyes are glowing blue. Oh, shit. God damn. And you see confirmed as he stabs Forever through the shoulder from behind. And so he's like, Forever! And you see the Zimi going, take her. It's like, ah! And you see as Thomas stabs him in the under the rib cage. He lashes out with a mace and just caves his head in. So he's like, Thomas, get up! And you have, it's like Joaquin, as he grabs her hostage with the swords. You have, commit. And you have, it's like, and she grabs him, flips him over, and throws him. And you have, Gewag von ihm, du Stück Scheiße. Oh, she's saying, get off of him, you stuck pig. As she tries to leap on top of him, and he grabs her head and just throws her with a bitch. She have, why? It's like, run forever. It's like, run, please, I can't. They're making me, my family are trying to control me. God damn it. And you see him trying to stab his sword into his head to try and stop. It's like, won't I? And you see infrastructure seizure complete. Execute as he and Forever face off. And you have as the fucking barbarian just grabbing Thomas by the head, and he's just trying to fire off at him. And you have as he drags him up. And somebody's like, no, Thomas, God, no! And you see as fucking Joaquin goes lunging towards her, Forever has to stab him through the chest with both swords. And you see the Zimmy just having decapitated Thomas, hoisting up his head as he goes, it is good. And you see Forever going, Gorgon 6 actual, we need exfil now. It's like, animal you, so we've got to go. So we can't just, she's going Forever goes, we've lost, we've got to get out of here. And you see the Zimmy going, Forever, see you soon. And she goes, I promise you, I'm going to fucking kill you. And he goes, you can't. We will. As they take off in the helicopter. Now we get to the end of Cull, chapter 5. Got a special chapter, but I will save. Should I do the special chapter? Yeah, you know what, why the hell not? And you see special chapter, special X6 plus 66, chapter 1. Let me check if the X66 has multiple chapters, then I might change it. Change my mind. No, looks like there is, but it looks like it might be the only one in this collection. Fuck it. So we see Casey Solomon was waste, living under Carlisle rule in Montana until she's lifted on merit by order of none other, the commander Forever Carlisle. Now the eye of the Lazarus has fallen upon her once more. The daggers of the Carlisle military's most elite special forces operators under the direct commander Forever Carlisle. Their reputation is legendary. It gives even Carlisle's most intractable enemies pause. For to be a dagger is to become not only an instrument of the Carlisle family, but a weapon wielded by the Lazarus herself. Casey Solomon will either become a dagger or she will die trying. You see, to God, it's like, to God, will she be paying us a visit? It's like, week 3. We should have a few left by then. It's like, oh, so you're planning on going easy on them, are you, Gunny? So not on your life, Master Gunner Park. Sandtramp? I'm good, thank you, Gunny. 100 candidates for selection. 100 men and women who volunteered for the hell we're going to put them through in the hope of becoming a dagger. Except for this one. This one was ordered to report for selection. By who? By God, Gunny. She was sent by God herself. And you see Casey's picture. You have Carlisle Special Warfare Center, Camp Coyote, Black Rock Desert. You have each of you a warm welcome to our last arrival. Sergeant Casey Solomon, a veteran of the Duluth campaign. I'm Gunnery Sergeant Elijah Hackett. You will refer to me as Sergeant Hackett. For most of you, just to get here required 5 years of service, 3 weeks of conditioning, a 65-day assessment, a 7-week orientation, and further education, and 8.5 weeks on the Scout Sniper course with 40 weeks of specialty training. Casey Solomon did not. Casey Solomon got here by being a hero. She goes, Sergeant Solomon reporting as ordered, Gunnery Sergeant. And he salutes back and goes, fall in, cadet, or fall in, candidate. Candidates of class 217 Bravo 10, hut! And you see one of the other soldiers just side-eyeing Casey. You have 100 of you stand here today. Some are corporals, some are captains. All of you have seen combat. What you've seen, what you've done, that now means shit. You are not daggers until you are a dagger. You are nothing. You are not special. This is the only time I will repeat myself. You are not special. Attrition rate on this selection course is over 90%. 20 to 25% of you will die or suffer permanent injury and or disfigurement. You will be destroyed. Your world is now one of untold suffering. You will pray for the day when things were merely awful. Candidates, about face. Yeah, but there is hope for each of you. An escape from this hell you have entered. Before you is a sacred piece of dagger history. The remains of the APC that brought the enemy shooters to the holy gates of Pendleton. What remains of the vehicle destroyed by the sainted Pendleton 5, the first daggers. You see this giant just sack tied to some ropes, and you see some of the other soldiers hoisting it up. Jeff, when you are ready to confess that you have wasted my time, your instructor's time, you will walk to that holy artifact, you will take the hammer that hangs there, you will strike that panel 3 times. 3 taps, that's all. And you get to go home to hot food and soft beds and loving arms, and you get to pretend that you never for a moment imagined you might be someone special. We begin now. You have and drop packs. You are weak and slow and should have reached his objective 2 minutes ago. You see before you Dagger Sergeant Gingersnap and a door. On my order, you will go through that door and clear the house. Candidate Solomon, Candidate Cervantes, since you got here first, you are going in first. Solomon, you are first man. Cervantes, you are second man. Trust the operator ahead of you to do their job, the operator behind you to have your back. And as you're getting ready, Cervantes goes, or maybe he doesn't. You have, on my command, go, go, go. As you crack, 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 and clear, clear. You see, this is an unknown distant target exercise. You have 1 round, you have 1 target. You have 1 minute. Miss the target and you fail. Fail means you go back to your unit. Commence fire. And you see shooter, lock and load. Shooter ready. Go to sector Bravo. Bravo confirmed. And you see Cervantes just looking through the little scope spotter. As Casey goes, shooter ready, and goes, go to glass. It's a contact, tier 7 o'clock, 4 miles. I have a target on the berm, red dot middle. That is your target. Check parallax and mil. 1.17. Solution sent to glass. Verifying the solution. I have the solution. I have the solution. And you see holdover 0.4, 4.4, ready. Right point, and you're blam. And she goes, you're up. So that's McKeith and Batista tapped out too. Can't believe you still drink that shit, Gunny. Pickle juice is good for my throat. And the whiskey, good for my morale. How we doing, Ginger Snap? High and dry, Gunny. Down by half and not halfway through. Guess that means you're doing it right. Was there a malfunction on Cervantes' spotting scope today? So it worked just fine when Sullivan walked him in to target. You see Gunny just exchanging looks with her as he walks off. And you see later that night as Casey's looking over, I assume, letters. And Cervantes comes up behind her and she goes, something I can do for you, Cervantes? She goes, yeah, tap out. You haven't earned this. You see the next day them going through drills where they're being fired at, carrying packs, have to assemble guns, blindfolded. I don't know what the hell that is, dipping in tomato juice or something else that they're going through treatment for. Being fed slop. The next day is one of the other soldiers goes up to the pack, goes clang 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 as he's leaving. Jeff, it is the tradition of this unit that those who survive to become daggers forge their own blades. Jeff, this is knife fighting. You're gonna get cut. Get used to it. It's like this. Thus, you fucking well better know how to use it. And you see them just doing knife training. Jeff, it's like move to the side. Fucking slip to the side. As you Casey grabbing someone's arm and flipping over her opponent. Jeff, protect the fucking box. Slow, too slow. Do it again. And you see a helicopter touching down. As I assume Forever's coming in to check on the troops. Casey's like, is that? It's like, holy shit, is that Commander Carlisle? Is that the Lazarus? Casey's like, yeah, that's the Lazarus. Yeah, the fuck are you doing? The fuck are you fucking doing? It's a computer that assigned to Task Sergeant Hackett. So my vision must be fucking failing. I am blessed that you're here to be my eyes, candidate Cervantes. You are completing the assigned task. I am relieved, because it looked to me as if you and other worthless shits were gazing upon God herself. You are not worthy to look upon God. Is that understood? You are not worthy to stand in her presence. You are not worthy as yet to even come as initiates to her holy order. The daggers are her priests. I remind you, you are nothing. Do not look upon God, lest God's eye fall upon you, and you be burned by her glory. You see later that night, as she goes to see Gunny, he's a candidate. Something you need? She goes, no, sir. I got it. She goes and gets some cream so she can bandage up her wounds. And later that night she hears Solomon. It's like, Master Sergeant Park? It's like, how deep? Not deep, just messy. I've been cut before. Won't slow me down. And he goes, you gotta stop this bullshit, Solomon. She's like, Sergeant? He goes, you are special. That's why you're here. Fucking show it. The next thing you have, welcome you to Bullet Town. This is a live fire range. Your job is simple. To get from the green line at the start of this course to the red line at its end. You are loaded with live rounds to provide covering fire. This will, if properly directed, discourage incoming fire. Try not to hit your fellow candidates. You will be timed. Fail to cross the red line within 5 minutes, and you will be cut from selection and returned to your units. The clock is now running. Get it done. And you see, contact, auto gun, green building, upper floor. Clear that fucking corner. Shit, contact front, watch your 10 o'clock. As one of them gets shot through the leg. You've got to keep moving. Lots of fire out there. Sit here if you want. But take cover ahead of the car. So bang him up, Gunny. He's like, roger that. See him pressing a button. So you can't see the fucking gun. There it is. Contact brown building. Right side, second. So you have a wee... Oh, that is fucking dirty. And you see a little flashbang coming off as it's armed with behind the truck that they're taking cover behind. And it goes off. It's like, shit. As none of them can see. And someone's grabbing him and pushing him off to the side. It's close, too fucking close. Goddamn miracle we didn't get. And I assume that Cervantes is looking back. So get ready. You need to button hook left, head for the alley. Can't wait here, get moving. And you see, move your asses as they see the finish line. You have, move. You are keeping us waiting, children. You're alive. My sweet old granny could have done it faster than you, but you're alive. Yeah, that's something, I guess. You see later that night, Cervantes is leaving the bunk. And he's picking up the hammer, about to tap onto it. And you gotta be fucking kidding me. You're seriously gonna tap out after going through all this? And he goes, why shouldn't I? You belong here. I don't. Today I failed God. And she's like, oh, for fuck's sakes. She's not God. I don't know what she is, but she's not God. She goes and cuts the ropes, hoisting it up with a clang, and you hear, Solomon, care to explain yourself? He's like, Master Sergeant Park, I meant no dis... And he goes, that sounds like the start of a shitbird excuse and not an answer. And Cervantes goes, the candidate was counseling me not to tap out, Master Sergeant. And her counseling required the desecration of an artifact held holy by this unit? She goes, yes it did, Master Sergeant. And you see all the others just coming up behind her as support. And he goes, then it's good. That's just some crap piece of metal we used to get you shits riled up. And you have kids today, no respect. Like we leave a piece of unit history where these brats can piss all over it. So what unit history? It's all made up. There never was a damn APC. You have you two, Oscar and Mike, back to your bunks. Get dressed back here in 2 minutes. So does the Master Sergeant require us in full pack? No, the Master Sergeant requires you to do what you've been told, Cervantes. And you hear, Bo, Arturo, Simon, go grab everything we're gonna need. This is our creed. It begins. You see, this is my unit is my family. Family above all. It's a family above all, family above all. Individually, I am remorseless. I am a remorseless weapon of war, alongside my brothers and sisters. I cannot fail, we are invincible. I will shoot my enemy without hesitation. I will shoot faster, I will shoot straighter. I will kill without pity, without empathy, without remorse. God has blessed me in my actions. To question my actions is to question God. To question God is to abandon my family. I will never abandon my family. You see them hammering away at metal as they're forging their daggers. When my weapon is empty, I will not cease the fight. My knife will find my opponent and cut him from the face of this world. I vow to master my enemies and show them no mercy but the peace of the grave. I am the blade my family wields. I am a dagger. Oh, alright, so there's more XD6 chapters, but this is already well over an hour, so I'll save it for next time. Ah, shit, this series just really does just keep getting better and better and better and better with each run. I'm still, oh man, like I'm still of such mixed minds on Joanna, because on the one hand, like Forever calls her out during this chapters, like Forever kind of calls her out and acknowledges the fact that Joanna has been as manipulative as the rest of the family, even if her intentions are more noble. Part of me wants to still kind of question her like actual sympathies and question what's the word I'm looking for, how valid, I guess, like her, how truthful her, claims and things that she's telling Forever are. But I think that's why, like, the moment where you see her, like, shedding a tear, she's seeing, like, how badly beaten and used Forever has been by the family. I think that's what kind of cemented me more towards the idea that, she is doing, like, she has to be ruthless because she's trying to take over the family, and there is very little room for error. There's, like, some sacrifice. So she's basically convincing herself there are sacrifices she has to make for the greater good. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of her character arc plays out. A thought that did strike me as I was reading this that I'm kind of like half on, like I'm not sure if like the validity of this one, is whether Forever is a clone of Malcolm's wife, or if she was the one that made Joanna promise, to look after the family and like kind of supersede her father and everything else, because there was a lot of like references made to, keeping up the promise and like, not betraying someone, etc., etc. And I think this is the first time we actually had mention of Malcolm's wife, which, of course, like, it didn't occur to me, that she would be an important, relevant character to the overall larger plot, but I guess that's kind of my shortcoming in not having realized or thought of that. So it'll be interesting to see once we dig more into, or if we dig into Malcolm's past, like his rise to power and how everything else happened, like what happened to her specifically, like what motivates the rest of the family. But apart from that, I did like this chapter a lot. I really did like the Joanna development we got. I like that we see Forever standing up for herself again. God, I knew Joaquin's betrayal was coming at some point, but I thought this was going to be a thing of, like, I'm glad it wasn't a case of, like, he was trying to also, manipulate Forever, and that his feelings were real, and he was basically being used by his family as well. So that really, like, gutted me when he had to see him trying to, like, struggle to fight back against his conditioning and programming. Again, it is interesting though, you see how the Ruka's giving commentary on military indoctrination, like how like the cult like mentality that they kind of built, what the whole religious symbolism was, well, like, Forever is your god, you are disciples, etc., like kind of building that conditioning into them. So it'll be interesting to see, because I think Casey's the only kind of one that kind of like semi buys into, which is like, yeah, I will do anything for my troop, but I'm looking forward to seeing how she's going to break them free of the conditioning to the family, because I feel like that's eventually going to happen. She's going to break them free of the conditioning, that they have to like support and be like the family's tools and all that. So it'll be interesting to see those interactions also coming to a head. But apart from that, yeah, I wasn't expecting Forever to kind of get feel in on the secret, like the whole clone thing, so early on. And I'm also waiting to see, because I feel like this is kind of a thing where she's like, kind of compartmentalized it for now so she can deal with it later, because even knowing what she's like, it feels like this was something she took too quickly, to like just kind of process too quickly. But that might be a result of like her having always suspected, like maybe having had time to come to terms with it. But I'm interested in seeing how or if that's going to affect her psychologically going forward. But yeah, as always, like Lazarus, impeccable character writing, impeccable artwork. I'm glad the fucking Bueller got his ass handed to him. That was just the best. It was good justice. Cannot wait till the fucking Frankenstein barbarian ball-looking motherfucker gets taken down. I don't think I've ever hated a character's guts as much as I've hated his. But we'll see what happens with that. So like I said, expect a channel update probably sometime later tonight. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, I'm going to be focusing on Lazarus until I've caught up with this. Then I'll get back to some of my other read-throughs. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, I don't think I'm going. Next week will be a long weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to get out a couple of more videos with regards to the read-throughs then. And until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.